When we're setting up grids, the grids that we use are multiple sets of geometry. And when we set these multiple sets of geometry up, they'll be spinning in the space for say 5 hours, 6 hours, for as long as the group healing's going. But you may have certain souls coming in with entities hanging off their back. They're not going to be able to come through our grids. Those grids are built very carefully, and those grids are monitored throughout the day or throughout the weekend. You need to keep plugging back into those grids. I wanted to share a little message with you this morning about building grids. We're here in Paris. In about 2 hours, we're starting a group healing. Now, when we run these group healings, we put grids up around the space. If we go and do a plant medicine retreat, we put grids up around the space. If we do a facilitator training, we put grids up around the space. If we run an online workshop, we put grids up around the space. When you're putting grids up around a space where everybody's coming into one room, it's a scenario because everybody's in the same space and the grids go around the room, under the room, over the room. If you're working with a group of people online and you've got several hundred people in multiple countries, how do you put that grid structure up? Well, the thing is, we live in a holographic reality. We live in a world that is pretty much space. Nothing is really physical. And when you know how to really operate in those multidimensional playing fields, you can create whatever scenarios you want within the space and entangle that with anything that's so-called physical on the planet, in the galaxy, in the universe. Now, if I was setting up a grid structure here in this space around this room that I'm in right now, where in a couple of hours time we're going to have around 75 people come in for a group healing. So we need to make sure that no unwanted energies are traveling through this space. Now, when people come into the space, if they've got certain frequencies inside of them, there's nothing you can really do about that. We're going to have to deal with that once they come in. But you may have certain souls coming in with entities hanging off their back. They're not going to be able to come through our grids. If you've got entities outside of the building, any kind of lower vibrational forces, they're not going to be able to slide in through our grid structures. When we're setting up grids, the grids that we use are multiple sets of geometry. And when we set these multiple sets of geometry up, they'll be spinning in the space for say 5 hours, 6 hours, for as long as the group healing's going. If we're running a facilitated training which lasts for 5 days, we're going to have multiple grid structures that interchange. So we're going to put certain timers on the grids. So the grids will run for say 12 hours. And then they're going to change to a new set of grids automatically. And that will happen daily. There are certain circumstances where you might want to set up grids that change every 6 hours, every 8 hours, every 4 hours, depending on the level of work you're doing. But what is important is that those grids are built very carefully, and those grids are monitored throughout the day or throughout the weekend. You need to keep plugging back into those grids. Now, this is really important. If you've got a team that you're working with, the whole team is going to have their energy infused into those grids. If you've got one of your team members that is thinking negatively and destructively, even if it's just a glimmer of a thought that is of a lower vibrational nature, they're going to put a dent in those grids. The grids are only as strong as whoever builds those grids and whoever is inside operating in those grids. So you've got to make sure that your team, you've got to make sure that you are steadfast, rock solid, staying in your heart with a high frequency. Sometimes other teams will come in to help you. I'm talking about multi-dimensional teams. You may have a team of Arcturians, a team of Lyrians, a team of Lions. They may be forming circles and grids around the templates that you've got in the space. But if your frequency dips, if your heart closes, if your mind wanders off the job, they can only hold space at the level that your frequencies are. Remember, everything comes from within. You've got to take full responsibility for everything that's happening in your own local environment, for everything that's happening in your further environment, anything and everything that's taking place around you, in your family, in your relationships, in your teams, business, health, whatever it is, it's all on you. You cannot put the dairy on someone else. You've got to accept full responsibility for everything that takes place. And it's the same when you're building grids in a healing environment. If you get some kind of negative witch, some kind of negative wizard, you get some kind of negative shadow parasite, demonic entity come through your grids, it's on you. If one of your team members has dropped their frequency and dropped their field, you can't blame them, it's on you. So your mission is to make sure that everybody stays on a high frequency. Your mission is to make sure that the whole team stays focused and steadfast on the mission. There's no blame, there's no judgment, there's pure acceptance of everything that's taking place in the healing environment, in the training, in the meditation workshop. Whatever is taking place, whatever is happening, whatever is unfolding, it's all on you. Maximum responsibility every single time. When you're building grids in a space where everybody's spread around the world, let's say you're speaking to a bunch of souls on Zoom. You might have 100 people, 50 people, 200 people. It doesn't matter. What you're going to do is you're going to set up a container. And that container is going to be a holographic room space in the quantum. And then around that container, you're going to put the same grids that you'd put around a physical space if you were there. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring in the energetic template of every single human being that is on that training, on that meditation, on that call into your virtual environment. And as long as you keep the virtual environment contained, everything will be cool. And each of those human beings within that virtual container, you're going to have to grid them up individually too. So you're gridding them up individually, putting various containers and constructs around them, certain geometries, so that those individual geometries are keeping them clear in the space of where they are in their home, office building, wherever they are in the world. You're also going to have your group container that's stopping anything getting into the group. Remember, whatever you decide is the way that it's going down, the way that it's going up, left, right, forwards, backwards. You are the catalyst. You are the organizer. You are the fuel. You are everything. You are the master controller of your destiny, and that is in any given situation. So whether you're setting multi-dimensional grids up in a physical space or multi-dimensional grids up in a virtual space, it's kind of the same. Now, a basic grid structure that can be used, very simple. You get a chromium octahedron and you place it around each human in a virtual space. And you place it around the building in a virtual space. And you place it around a physical building in a physical space. Around the chromium octahedron, you would place an inverted chromium pyramid. Around the inverted chromium pyramid, you'd place a chromium cube and then a chromium sphere. Rotate all of those geometries clockwise. Fill the space up inside the octahedron with a violet light. Then a diamond light between the chromium octahedron and the inverted chromium pyramid. And then a chromium light between the pyramid and the cube, and then another chromium light between the cube and the sphere. Kaleidoscopic chromium is an Andromedan frequency, which within that kaleidoscopic chromium color contains every other color range and every offshoot or fractal of each individual color within that range. So you've got millions of pinks and millions of oranges and millions of greens. Now the reason we use this kaleidoscopic chromium is because whenever any kind of being tries to come through, if they're shape-shifting between the frequencies, they're not going to be able to do it fast enough inside kaleidoscopic chromium. If you had a gold frequency, a crystal white, a diamond light, okay, they might be able to hold that frequency. They can shape-shift in that frequency. But when you've got multiple frequencies that are so similar to each other and so close within the same framework of experience, it's impossible to shape-shift and get away with it. Your awareness is going to pick it up, you're going to see it, you're going to feel it. Or someone in your team is going to see it and feel it. That's a basic grid structure. That works. Now, in Star Magic, when we're doing plant medicine retreats, we're doing trainings and the grids might need to be set for 5 days, 10 days, because we're there working with the same bunch of souls for a long period of time. We're going to have interchangeable grids. Now, interchangeable grids are really important. Imagine you get the infinity sign. The infinity sign is like the figure of 8. You can run that infinity sign through the hologram of your physical structure. You can run it through the holographic template of your virtual structure. You could even get a physical structure and shrink it down so it's really small, create a holographic version and run an infinity sign through that so you can observe it and play with it and carry it around with you and observe the space much easier. But you run an infinity sign through whatever structure it is that you want to stop any unwanted energies coming through. Now you create a specific grid structure and entangle it with a code, and you place that at the top of the infinity sign. Then you get another grid structure and entangle it with the middle of the infinity sign. You get another grid structure, place a code into it, entangle it with the bottom of the infinity sign. Then you set up timestamps or time markers. You could place a 4-hour time marker in it. So as the codes flow through the infinity sign, when they get to a certain point, which will be every 4 hours, 2 hours, 6 hours, depending on what you set it at, the grids in your space are going to change. You can do this on your home. This is effective, efficient, high-level grid structuring. Most people on planet Earth don't use grids like this. Most people on planet Earth don't even know about how to structure grids like this. But for us, in Star Magic, this is an everyday thing, okay? Making sure your place, your space is clear is mission critical. You're not doing this through fear, you're doing this through intelligence. Because fear is a choice, but danger is real. And you've got to choose. Where do you want to be on the love-fear spectrum? I choose the love end. I understand that danger is a potential, and there are other energies in this world that want to try and stifle, mess up, bring chaos into certain high-frequency containers. But if you put your grids up right, it's never going to happen. And if you make sure that your thoughts, your emotions, the thoughts and emotions of your whole team are completely A1, you're going to be fine. Wherever you are on planet Earth, beautiful soul, go out into this world and love your sisters and your brothers fiercely and ferociously. Hug them tightly and never be the first to let go. That's the golden rule of hugging, and it's a beautiful medicine. Remember to check out our website, starmagichealing.org. You got hundreds of guided meditations, light language transmissions to activate your pineal gland, your light body, your right brain, your kundalini. We got high frequency nutrition, cosmic yoga. We got mystery schools on so many different subjects, like building grids. If you want to know how we construct certain very specific grid structures and entangle them with that infinity sign, go and listen to the mystery school teachings. Those mystery school teachings have knowledge for months and years that will help you in so many ways. We've got private groups so you can connect with beautiful souls just like you on this same ascension mission. Souls that want to make this world a better place. Souls that want to bring love and equilibrium and balance to the human race. So go and check it out. You can get 7 days free right now. I love you so much, as my sister, as my brother. I'll see you again real soon. Smile, have fun, don't take life too seriously. It's a cosmic joke after all. I'll see you soon. One love, one heart, one human family. Peace out, beautiful soul.